Why dogs jump on you when you hug someone. You have probably noticed that your canine companion is against public displays of affections, such as hugs or kisses. They may bark, jump up, or even attack their owner if they are being hugged by someone else. You might think they are just jealous, but the reasons are more complex than that. Kissing and hugging are human behaviors that are not normal to dogs. We wrap our arms around each other and squeeze tightly. Dogs see this form of close contact as threat. They feel the need to intervene by wedging their way in between the two partners in an attempt to de-escalate what they perceive to be a fight. Another reason dogs could interrupt a hug is when they want attention. Your dog might be past the threat thought and realize that hugs and kisses are actually good. When you are getting intimate with a partner, they notice that something interesting is going on and they want to be part of it. Number 7. Why dogs turn their butt towards you. You probably have noticed that dogs sometimes walk towards us and turn around. Then, they will either nudge us gently with their rear end or stand passively with their back turned to us. But why do they turn around and present you their rear instead of their face? When a dog shows you their bum, it means they trust you. When having their back towards you and teeth farthest away from you, your dog exposes their vulnerability to you and indicates that they don't intend to harm you, and they feel safe around you. Greeting is another reason that your pup turns his back toward you. Dogs sniff each other's rears as a part of their introduction and gaining information about one another. Since that's how dogs greet each other, your pooch probably assumes his special human feels the same way, and they turn their butt toward you to greet you or exchange information. Number 6. Why dogs stare at you when they poop. You probably have noticed that dogs keep their eyes on you when they poop. That's because they are looking out to you to protect them. It relates to their wild ancestors' instinct to always be on the lookout for danger. Going to the bathroom puts anyone in a vulnerable position, and if a dog is squatting, they cannot protect themselves from predators. They are depending on you to give them a body language signal or heads up when a threatening situation occurs. Dogs also stare at you when they poop to get your blessing. They are checking for approval to be sure they are using the correct location to do their business. Remember, dogs mark their territory when they deposit their feces, and dogs in the wild often attack those canines who defecate in their area. So when your dogs stare at you when they poop, they may want reassurance that you will not fight over a territory dispute. Number 5. Why dogs bite each other's mouths in play. If you've had a dog for a while, then you probably know that dogs often play with their mouth open. The two dogs clash their muzzles and teeth together, and it looks like they are biting each other. As you watch them playing, you may think the pups are about to rumble, and you wonder if you should step in. Just like humans, dogs have their own unique play styles and personalities. Some are calm and quiet, some are rough, and some are avid wrestlers. When your dog plays with his mouth open, he's mimicking an actual fight, but without the serious biting. This form of play is called jaw sparring, and it is a healthy way for a dog to play with other canines. And every now and then, you may notice that one of the dogs loses the game spirit and bites too roughly. The victim of the bite starts yelping and usually stops playing. The offender is often taken aback by the yelp and also stops playing for a short while. However, very soon, both dogs will be back in the game. Through this kind of interaction, dogs learn to control the intensity of their bites so that no one gets hurt. This is also how dogs exercise proper control over their mouths. In some situations, when the dogs bite too roughly, the playful fight can grow into a real fight. It is a little like kids wrestling at school, and then one kid takes it too far. You can tell your dog is playing and not attacking another dog when they have a loose body language, are bouncing with happiness, or keep going back for more. The dogs voluntarily make themselves vulnerable by falling down and exposing their bellies. They take turns when chasing each other and allow themselves to be caught while playing. On the contrary, stiff body language, raised hackles, and flattened ears are signs of a real fight. Number 4. Why dogs stretch their front legs. Most people tend to think that dogs stretch just to warm up their muscles, but that's not always the case. Stretching is one of the most recognizable body language signs in dogs. It is one of the ways they express their emotions or feelings. More often than not, dogs use this communicating technique to show you or another dog that they are happy and feeling comfortable around you. In fact, dogs often perform a stretch when they meet another canine or person that they don't want to dominate or submit to. It is a friendly gesture that shows mutual respect and a willingness to play. This is why your dog often stretches when you grab the keys to take them for a walk, or when you come home after a long day at work. It's your dog's way of saying, "I missed you." But remember, excessive stretching in dogs may be indicative of a medical problem. Number 3. Why dogs eat their own vomit. It can be stomach-turning to most people, but dogs actually think that eating their own vomit is perfectly natural. Dogs do not have social standards that humans do, and what sounds repulsive to us can be second nature to dogs. In fact, when pups are being weaned, mother dogs will regurgitate food for their young to help them adjust to eating solid foods. And it's important to remember that there's a difference between vomit and regurgitation. Vomiting is the ejection of contents of the stomach, and it's more concerning. Regurgitation, on the other hand, is composed of undigested food that never made it down to the stomach. Oftentimes, dogs regurgitate when they've eaten food too quickly, or the pieces are too big for their esophagus. Keep in mind that just because eating vomit doesn't disturb your dog, it doesn't mean that frequent vomiting isn't a problem. Be sure to visit a vet if you notice your pup can't keep their dinner down. Number 2. Why dogs make noises and movements in their sleep. You may have noticed that dogs bark, whimper, or growl in their sleep. This is because dogs dream in REM stage of their sleep, and those vocalizations or muscle twitches are responses to whatever is happening in their dreams. Interestingly enough, studies have shown that most animals dream on a regular basis. In fact, their dream pattern seems to be very similar to humans, and they can replay long sequences of events while they are asleep. So, while we can't exactly know what our dogs dream of, research suggests that our furry friends probably dream of everyday activities, such as chasing birds, running after squirrels, or even playing with you and other dogs. Number 1. Why dogs muzzle grab each other. A muzzle grab is when dogs put their mouth around another canine's snout. It's neither a bite nor an aggressive behavior. It's a hold that is done without much pressure and does not cause physical harm.